So if you remember a few years back, there was hardly any website or a product that was built on a black or a dark blue theme. Even if someone wanted to use it, it was said the dark theme doesn't convey a positive vibe.
The visual design affects the user behavior in the retention of the user many times. How many times the user is actually coming back. And the more interesting the visuals are, the better user understanding becomes. You are able to make the app easy to understand to the user by using visuals. For example, I can give you a small example that there is a reason why Swiggy uses uh, orange and red color, or the warm color, what I'll call it, in the visual design, because it's actually talking about the food. And if I start using cool colors into it, nobody would actually order so well, and you will feel a little disbalanced because nobody wants their food to be cold. Everybody wants it warm. So that is how the visual gives the experience, and that is how it builds things. So it's a very so user behavior actually changes on that thing also.
See, every project or a product is different, and there isn't a set workflow that I use for visual design. But for a beginner in visual design, I would recommend following steps. So number one is you should identify the domain of the product. For example, is it from the retail industry? Is it from healthcare? Or is it from telecom? The second step you would take is you identify the mood of the product. By mood, I mean what mood your product would convey. Should it be calm? Should it be peaceful? Should it be like pop or retro? And then I recommend looking for any competitor products in the same domain. What are they using in their product and why? Is it helping them? What are users saying about it? Next step would be to look for some inspirations, and there are multiple sites for that. For example, Dribbble, and you can go for Mobin. On the basis of all these steps, gather all the visuals and start creating a mood board. And you will see a pattern emerging from it. That's how you should start with visual designing. And that's an answer for the beginners in the visual design process. Like I said, every project and every product is different, and you shouldn't follow a set workflow for it. It should be contextual in every product. Well, there are a lot of new visual trends that go contradictory with the previous trends. I'll focus on the major two trends that I have seen. Number one being use of dark themes. So if you remember a few years back, there was hardly any website or a product that was built on a black or a dark blue theme. Even if someone wanted to use it, it was said the dark theme doesn't convey a positive vibe. Now, since the last year and a half, you see all the major companies either switching to a dark theme or giving users the options to change their theme to a dark mode. And let's explore some reasons for that. Since the last few years, with the use of digital devices, there has been a growing problem with vision issues, such as eye fatigue or computer vision syndrome. Then came the dark mode feature that was set to reduce the eye strain. Dark mode is also set to reduce the distractions and enhance focus. While all these claims are still debatable, I personally feel that dark mode helps me reduce my eye strain. And then there's a claim that dark mode reduces the amount of power on digital screens. In fact, it is said dark mode uses 6 times less power than that of highest light setting. And that again depends on the type of screen your device is having. I think it is best optimized for OLED and AMOLED screens. The second trend that I have seen growing in past few years is the use of animations. See, 2-3 years back, you would hardly see any heavy animations on a major website or application. And one of the main reason animations were not used in the final product was the development effort required to build them. Even if, as a designer, you would create a nice looking animation in your prototype, it would then eventually be discarded during the development phase, since coding all those animations in is a task in itself. But in the last 2 years, I have seen some promising new tools that lets designer create those animations and just export the working code, thereby reducing the development efforts. Also, these are some quite lightweight animations that don't usually create a performance issues. And I think these are the two major visual trends that are trending nowadays and that were contradictory with respect to the past trends.